warm July night at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, anticipation was in the air as Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain walked out for the final of the FIFA Club World Cup. The crowd of more than 80,000 knew this was not just another football match. It was the European champions of 2025, PSG, against a Chelsea side rebuilt and reborn under Enzo Maresca, a chance for one of them to seize global glory. The stage was set, the floodlights glowed, and as the whistle went, the clash began. Right from the first minute, Chelsea pressed with ferocity. In their trademark blue, they surged forward, forcing PSG backwards, refusing to give them time to breathe. Palmer almost struck inside 3 minutes, curling just wide of the top corner after a sweeping move. That early scare told the story. Chelsea were not going to wait and see, they were going to seize the moment. PSG tried to respond, Hakimi racing up the right wing, but Chelsea's Nito cut it out, snapping into tackles with authority. Gusto bombed forward for Chelsea, whipping across into the box, and Donnarumma had to dive bravely to punch it away. The pace was electric, the intensity unmistakable, and Chelsea's energy was rattling the Parisians. By the 10th minute, Chelsea's press was suffocating PSG. Every pass out from the back was met with a blue shirt closing space. Palmer combined with James for a low shot that Donnarumma parried wide. It felt like a matter of time. And then, in the 22nd minute, the breakthrough came. João Pedro spun cleverly in midfield and released Palmer with a perfectly weighted through ball. Palmer strode into the box with confidence beyond his years, steadied himself, and slotted past Donnarumma into the far corner. The blue end of the stadium erupted. Chelsea 1, PSG 0, and the momentum firmly theirs. Palmer pointed to the badge, teammates swarming him, while PSG looked shaken and unsure of how to find a way out. The game did not settle. Just 8 minutes later, Chelsea struck again. This time, Palmer turned creator. Skipping inside from the right, he dragged 2 defenders towards him and then released a disguised pass back into the space. João Pedro didn't hesitate. A quick touch, a sharp shot, and the ball rippled the net. Chelsea were 2 goals up inside half an hour, and PSG were staring at a nightmare. Their coach barked instructions from the touchline, but his players looked overwhelmed. And yet Palmer wasn't done. In the 38th minute, he added his second, Chelsea's third, in devastating style. Picking up the ball just outside the area, he drove at the defense, wrong-footed Marquinhos, and rifled a shot into the bottom corner. Donnarumma stretched, but it was too precise, too ruthless. 3 goals to nil before halftime, and the stadium thundered with disbelief at the sheer dominance on display. Palmer was the conductor of this symphony, the spark who had ripped PSG apart in one of the greatest halves Chelsea had ever played. The whistle went for halftime, and the contrast was stark. Chelsea walked off energized, eyes blazing with belief. PSG trudged away silent, their shoulders heavy, as if the mountain ahead was too steep to climb. When the second half began, PSG knew they needed a miracle. They tried to push forward with urgency, but Chelsea's structure held. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo patrolled midfield with discipline, shutting down every flicker of creativity. PSG looked for Mbappé, but the supply lines were cut. Frustration built, and it boiled over in the 55th minute when João Neves lunged recklessly into a challenge. The referee produced a straight red card, and PSG were down to 10 men. That moment sealed their fate. With a man advantage, Chelsea did not overextend. They managed the game with intelligence, circulating the ball, drawing PSG out, and striking only when the opportunity was clear. Palmer continued to dazzle with clever touches and subtle passes, while João Pedro's pace stretched the defense. Donnarumma was called into action several more times, making strong saves to prevent the scoreline from becoming embarrassing. As the minutes ticked away, Chelsea's fans sang louder, their chants echoing around the New Jersey night. Every tackle won, every interception, every neat pass was cheered like a goal. PSG tried a late surge, throwing men forward, but Chelsea's backline stood like a wall. Disasi and Colwill cleared everything that came near, and Sanchez in goal barely had a serious save to make. By the 80th minute, the result was beyond doubt. Chelsea's substitutes came on to add energy, fresh legs ensuring the tempo never dipped. PSG's players looked drained, their spirit broken, while Maresca stood calm on the sideline, a man who knew his plan had been executed to perfection. When the referee finally blew for full time, the scoreboard read Chelsea 3, Paris Saint-Germain 0. The blue shirts ran to each other, embracing, shouting with joy, while Palmer stood at the heart of it all, 2 goals and an assist, making him the undisputed hero of the night. The Chelsea supporters roared as their team lifted the Club World Cup trophy high into the New Jersey sky. For PSG, it was heartbreak. A night where nothing went right, where their stars were dimmed and their hopes crushed. For Chelsea, it was history. A masterclass of pressing, precision, and composure. A new era defined by courage and discipline, and by a young star in Cole Palmer who lit up the world stage. The images of that night, the goals, the celebrations, the trophy lift, will live long in Chelsea memory. And as the fireworks exploded above the stadium and blue confetti rained down, the message was clear. Chelsea had not just won a trophy, they had announced themselves as champions of the world, and in the process had written one of the most unforgettable chapters in the club's proud history.